Hello there, welcome to ITV News Meridian.
Tonight's headlines in the Thames Valley. Freedom of the city for the Royal Logistic Corps. A special royal guest to see 500 personnel march through the streets of Hampshire.
The fact that it's just such a historical city and there's a lot of ties as well involved, it means a lot to the Corps in order to really be welcomed into the Winchester area.
Could you help keep Oxfordshire safe? The county's fire and rescue service searches for new recruits, but what skills does it want?
Also tonight, over the moon. The moment a missing baby donkey is found in Buckinghamshire and returned home to mum. And the votes are in. Tonight, we're out and about.
Finding out which community groups have won big in the People's Projects.
Tens of thousands of pounds of National Lottery funding. Join Sangeeta, Matt and me as we surprise the winners.
Good evening. The streets of Winchester were lined with people today to watch 500 army personnel march through the city before meeting the Princess Royal.
The Royal Logistic Corps was granted freedom of the city, a tradition that is seen as the greatest honour that can be bestowed upon a unit within the armed forces.
Well, there was also a Thanksgiving service at the cathedral to formally welcome the Corps to their new home in Worthy Down. Kerry Swain reports.
The streets of this ancient city cleared of cars and shoppers as the Royal Logistic Corps exercised their freedom of entry to the city for the first time. 500 marching troops, fearsome weapons held aloft, permitted under ancient privilege. Even close to a member of the royal family, Commander-in-Chief the Princess Royal. The soldiers were up early to ensure a flawless event.
We were here at 0400 doing a final run through before going back to Worthy Down to get changed into this and then heading back out here to do the actual thing.
30 years ago, Princess Anne took the salute to mark the formation of the Royal Logistic Corps, the biggest in the army with 10,000 regulars, whose jobs include bomb disposal, chefs, drivers and tank transporters.
Over the last 30 years, there hasn't been a day where the RLC has not had individuals deployed on a British Army operation overseas or at home.
I think to receive the freedom of any city is a significant privilege. To receive the freedom of a city with such a historic linkages to the military and ancient city is a really special day for us, particularly that we've only really been in the city about 2 years. We're the kind of new kids on the block. Yeah.
My son's a captain in the RLC, and luckily he found me in the crowd, and I just love the history of Winchester and I love anything to do with the military, so very proud.
It's the 30th anniversary today, wasn't it, of the formation of the Corps? Yeah, super.
You were part of a very special day.
We were,
yes,
indeed. And
is.
To be so close to it all, and particularly the Princess Royal, made it very special. Yeah.
What did you think about seeing a member of the royal family in the flesh here?
Absolutely. I mean, I've seen her in books, I've seen her on TV, and it's quite thrilling.
The weather was cool and grey in Winchester. The warmth came from the welcome these troops received, the colour from the spectacle of this first Freedom Parade. Kerry Swain, ITV News.
Very impressive. Let's get some other news now. In a pre-inquest review hearing into the killing of 3 men in Reading is to take place on Monday the 5th of June. James Furlong, David Wales and Joseph Ritchie Bennett were murdered by Kyrie Sadala in Forbury Gardens in June 2020. Sadala was given a life sentence for their murders in 2021. The full inquest is expected to take place in January next year.
Firefighters are urging people to avoid parts of Aldershot this evening as they tackle a serious wildfire. Parts of the Gorse and Heathland have caught alight on Jubilee Hill and Long Valley. It follows a large wildfire on Frensham Common earlier this week, which is still being damped down by Surrey Fire and Rescue.
The countdown to Reading's new flagship leisure centre has begun. Rivermead forms part of the council's £40 million investment in new facilities and includes a gym open to the public on July the 17th. There'll also be 2 new swimming pools in 2024.
The Fire and Rescue Service in Oxfordshire has launched a new recruitment drive, hoping to attract a very different type of candidate.
Well, the council that runs the service says it's looking for people with proven leadership skills who would be trained to work in management roles rather than fighting fires. Charlotte Breredney has more.
As firefighters in Witney get ready for a call-out, there's one person who isn't putting on flame-resistant gear. Faisal Atcher is the station manager. And while he does go to bigger incidents, more often than not, he's in the office.
The station manager title can be a little bit confusing because it doesn't always necessarily mean you're managing a station. In my own role kind of thing, 90% of my time is actually spent near a computer, and probably about 10% is related directly to the response side of it.
Faisal has risen through the ranks to his current job, but now there's a new way for people with no experience fighting fires to join the service as a manager.
So the programme itself is an opportunity for an individual that comes from other sectors. You don't need to have a fire service background to apply, to come directly in as a station manager, which is a middle leadership position within our organisation.
So what does that actually mean?
Responsibilities of station managers vary, but can involve organising training and procurement, monitoring performance and analysing risks. That is, until there's an emergency.
Every day can be very different. You can start your day planning to, deliver a presentation, write a report, and within 2 minutes you could be on the other side of Oxford at a house fire, at an RTC, or something, which is quite very different.
Back in April, a report into fire services across the UK found abuse, bullying and harassment were widespread. Oxfordshire hopes this new programme demonstrates their commitment to an inclusive culture.
We're looking to attract a diverse group of candidates to the role. We're particularly interested in receiving applicants from underrepresented groups.
Successful candidates will be fast-tracked on an intensive 3-year training scheme.
The programme is already open for applications from outstanding leaders. Successful candidates can expect to earn upwards of £46,000 a year.
So do you have what it takes? Well, the fire service says prospective managers need to be able to think on their feet and be great communicators. Charlotte Breredney, ITV News, Witney.
Rail passengers faced another day of disruption after yesterday's strike action by the ASLEF union. Chiltern Railways, which runs from London to Oxford, said it was running an amended timetable. Great Western Railway said it was forced to make short notice changes to trains. Both operators are urging people to only travel if essential tomorrow due to strike action by the RMT.
Well, meanwhile, from today, e-scooters are banned on all rail operators across England due to a risk of fire. The devices, which have become popular in recent years, will not be allowed on stations or trains. E-bikes will be permitted because they're deemed to be safer because of stringent government regulations.
And an e-scooter trial in Oxford will continue to be delivered by European company Voi, which has operated the scheme since 2021. Oxfordshire County Council oversaw the selection of the provider and says the trial will now run until June 2024.
Surgical robots have joined the team at Reading's Royal Berkshire Hospital to help carry out less invasive operations.
Yes, the machines improve the quality of care for patients and offer better recovery times. Mel Blaw has more.
Robotic surgery at the Royal Berks is not a new concept. It was first introduced in 2008, but with the addition of 2 new upgraded machines, the Trust is hoping to improve patient care and recovery times. The Da Vinci robot, equipped with instruments, is operated by a surgeon who watches through a 3D monitor.
Robotics is all about expanding minimally invasive surgery, so doing keyhole surgery but with optimal zoom, takes your tremor away, you've got much greater access particularly to the pelvis but to other areas of the body, and those benefits really layer onto the patients with faster recovery, less blood loss, but also on the bigger trials we've done recently to show that there's less complications and the patients are safer.
The two robots, which have cost the NHS £4.5 million, arrived here at the hospital last month. 50 members of staff have been trained to use them, and already they've been used in dozens of operations.
These include pioneering surgical techniques to treat prostate cancer, bladder cancer and reconstruction, and colorectal cancer. Using a camera capable of 15 times magnification, the robots allow for more precise and intricate movements, along with smaller incisions. And they've proved to be a welcome addition among patients.
I think it takes their mind off the whole thought of the surgery, which can be quite a scary time for patients. It is beneficial for them as well, as in they have a shorter hospital stay and they're in less pain.
But as well as the obvious benefits, robotic surgery has the potential to revolutionise our healthcare system and hopefully tackle hospital waiting times. Mel Blaw, ITV News, Reading.
Now you're watching ITV News Meridian in the Thames Valley. Still to come on the programme.
This is great. Stolen in Hampshire but found in Buckinghamshire. Fantastic news today as baby donkey Moon is returned to be reunited with her mum.
Well, plenty more from us, of course, today online. The details on the screen. itv.com/Meridian is the address. You can call us 0808 1010 095 and follow us on social media. Now, it's 50 years since the first graduation ceremony for students from the Open University was held. For many, the OU, as it's known, revolutionised higher education by coming up with a workable model of remote learning.
It meant opportunities for many people who until then had felt excluded from higher education. Here's Kevin Ashford.
Michael Shaw.
Good heavens.
Michael Shaw has never seen this footage before. It's him at the first Open University graduation ceremony in 1973. Michael, who's a retired head teacher, took an OU degree because he'd left school with no A-levels and he wanted to prove to himself that he could complete higher education. Michael says pre-internet distance learning was challenging.
Did the tutor marked assignments, posted them off, watched the television. We didn't have no video. Listened to the radio, made notes as I went, and it was very much, yes, looking back, it was almost like an early science fiction film in a way. You know, I think everybody was learning, the OU as well as us.
There's flexibility in how long OU degrees can take to complete, which means many students fit in studies around other commitments. Judith Purcell from Ferndown in Dorset started her OU degree in the late 1970s, finishing it 6 years later. She says the qualification increased her self-confidence.
I hadn't done particularly well at school, but my brother talked me into doing an OU course, and I was a single parent with 2 young children. So once I got them to bed, and sometimes I was guilty of putting the clock forward half an hour, so I could sit down and get my books out. And I can distinctly remember walking down the road at 2 o'clock in the morning to post my assignment to get it in on time.
In 1972, there were 36,000 students on Open University courses. There are now more than 200,000. And since the OU opened, 2.2 million students have graduated. There are no formal entry requirements for most OU courses, and staff say the aim is, as it was half a century ago, making higher education open to all.
Whilst this is about the millions that have graduated with us, every story is important to us. So on an individual level, it doesn't matter where you began, who you were, where you came from, what kind of circumstances you might have started with. We believe that everybody has a bright future, and it's our job to make it possible.
OU learning isn't for everyone. It can be missing out on a lot of the traditional student experience. But there's no doubt the Open University has changed the shape of higher education over the last half century. Kevin Ashford, ITV News.
It's 6:15 and the ITV Evening News continues with the national and international news at 6:30 with a preview. Mary Nightingale.
Coming up in the programme, tragedy in Bournemouth. A man is questioned in connection with the deaths of a 12-year-old girl and a 17-year-old boy. but it's still not clear exactly what happened. The findings of the latest search in connection with Madeleine McCann's disappearance. More bad news for homeowners. Prices fall at their fastest yearly rate for 14 years. And the remarkable rescue from Everest's death zone. Do join me for those stories and more at 6:30.
Now, some news tonight about the baby donkey stolen from a field in Hook in Hampshire more than 2 weeks ago. Moon, who's 2 months old, was taken from Miller's Ark, leaving her mother distraught.
Still so distressing to hear that. Well, Thames Valley Police helped with the search, which ended with Moon being found in Buckinghamshire by officers. Tonight, she's back with her mum, but for now, it's small steps, or rather, should that be hooves. Over for the latest now. Here's Amanda Piper.
Well, just over 2 weeks ago, I came here to Miller's Ark in Hook, where one of their young donkeys, just 2 months old, Little Moon, was stolen. And it really provoked so much outpouring of upset, and you, the viewers, really wanted to know what had happened to Little Moon. Well, I really feel like I have got the privilege and also the real pure happiness that I can introduce you to Little Moon here with Elizabeth at Miller's Ark, who is a little bit restless now, but she has come back home. Now, Elizabeth, I've got to come this side of you. Elizabeth, this is lovely news. Little Moon is back. First of all, how is she? Very lively, as we can see.
She's very well, yes, she wants to just enjoy her life, being back home again, and I'm so glad that people, some of the people involved in this have obviously loved her in the process somewhere.
So let's just go through what happened. I mean, she was taken, I said, just over 2 weeks ago, and you found her yesterday in Buckinghamshire.
Yes, quite amazing, really. We've had so many leads, people trying to be helpful, and this was a really credible lead, and we headed off into Buckinghamshire. And the Thames Valley Police were amazing, met us there, and Little Moon is back.
Which is just such wonderful news. What happens now? Because she seems quite healthy, she's looking good. Obviously she was looked after, we think. What happens now with her mother?
So Astra is really pleased to see her, talks to her, gives her little kisses. She is anxious about letting the foal feed, obviously. She's dried up, she's been very traumatised and anxious, and she's she's finding it hard to let her suckle again. But they are near each other, they're gradually bonding, and we'll give them a lot of love and care to help them bond again.
Now, one thing that's come out of this whole story is the fact that some of your supporters are trying to raise funds to get a security system involved. That's been going quite well, hasn't it?
It has, yes. I mean, Jules, who's a lovely lady who bought donkeys from me a few years ago, well, a long time ago, she started it off her own bat, which was lovely, and that money has been raised and I think is still going on at the moment, and that will help us install a full CCTV system all the way around the farm, so that hopefully this will never happen again. Without social media, without the media themselves, you folk, we wouldn't have got her back, that's for sure. So thank you, everybody. The world is actually full of really, really good people, and thank you all.
Elizabeth, that's lovely. Thank you very much indeed. Well, there you are. We'll let Little Moon readjust and decompress and get back to home where she should be. So some good news there as well. I'm going to go off and cuddle some donkeys now.
Ah, good news indeed. The lovely Amanda Piper there. We've got some more good news because for the last 2 weeks you have been voting for the community projects in the ITV Meridian region that should win up to £70,000 as part of the People's Projects, a partnership between ITV and the National Lottery Community Fund.
Yes, the votes are in and have been counted, and Sangeeta, Pip and I have been to visit our winning projects to give them the very good news. Take a look at this.
Now, I'm in Southampton, where our first winners think they're taking part in a photo opportunity. Now, this is a community group that wants National Lottery funding to bring animals and agriculture to city children who are missing out. They have no idea that I'm outside, but I've got some news that's really going to make their day. Come on.
And cheer for me.
Yay! And hi, everyone.
Sorry to interrupt all the fun. How are we all?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, nice day, isn't it?
It's a beautiful day.
It's a very beautiful day.
It's a beautiful
So,
day.
have you been enjoying your little photo op?
We have been. It's been great fun.
Yeah, okay.
I'm gobsmacked.
Why are you gobsmacked?
Because I recognise you.
Do you?
I do.
Just as well. Carly, I've got some great news for all of you.
Go on.
You asked for some big money from the People's Projects, and I'm pleased to say you've all won £67,000.
Oh,
that's what you asked for.
Thank you so much. Wow.
Are the chickens pleased?
They are very pleased. They're being very quiet at the moment.
Oh my goodness.
Carly, tell us, what does this money mean to you?
It's going to make a huge change for everybody. They'll be able to offer so many more activities and sessions for children like my son who are going to be able to, really benefit from it.
And we've got Chris over there.
We've got Chris here feeding a goat.
Hello, can I crouch down here? What's this goat called?
This is Ladybird.
Ladybird.
Yeah.
And you're really pleased that you've got this money?
Yes. The farm is just a wonderful place to be. The farm is
Chris is
the best
speechless.
place. Yeah, I'm just speechless.
Speechless. Well, I heard you all cheering as I was coming in. So can we have one final cheer? Because I bet you're very pleased, aren't you, really? Congratulations, Southampton City Farm.
Absolutely brilliant. Congratulations to them. But now it's my turn, and I'm here near Andover to tell a fantastic group of people that they are also a People's Project winner. This is Veterans in Action, and as you may have seen on our programme last week, they do brilliant work with ex-forces personnel who, some of them have some quite complex mental health challenges, and they give them some self-respect, they help them build up their confidence, they help them build up their resilience, and they do it quite often in very simple ways, by maybe getting a group of guys together to dismantle an engine or just get in the outdoors and talk about it. They've helped over 1,000 people so far, some of them from conflicts that date back as far as the Falklands and Northern Ireland. They do incredible work. They really need the money, and I'm really pleased to be able to go and tell them that they've won today. So let's try and find Billy McLeod and tell him that they are a People's Project winner. Follow me. Guys, I'm looking for Billy. How are you? I'm Matt from ITV News Meridian. You okay? I can't. Well, we can't shake hands because in this hand I've got something that you're going to be very interested in seeing. We're really pleased. You know there can only be 3 People's Projects winners from our region, but there are some opportunities for some fantastic runners-up prizes. Yeah. You don't need to worry about that. Because Veterans in Action are one of our People's Projects winners for 2023.
Well, that's fantastic.
Congratulations.
Fantastic. I mean, what can I say about that? It's just fantastic. It means such a lot to these guys here because it means they can continue working and continue to grow as we grow. All I can say is thank you very much.
Now, you know that you could win up to £70,000. So depending on the size of the figure written on the cheque that I've got with me, what kind of things will that money be spent on?
Right, as you've seen in the film, it's all about building vehicles. But when we build vehicles, we're not really building vehicles. We're building these people here.
I suppose we should tell you what's written on the cheque, really.
That would be nice.
I can tell you that it is the full amount
of
£70,000.
Fantastic. I mean, look at those guys. That's outstanding. Thank you very much.
I'm hiding out in Poole today. I'm here to surprise some children who've been taking part in activities on the beachfront as part of the Making Memories programme. It offers them welcome respite from their caring responsibilities back at home. Hopefully this will make their day. Let's go and sneak up on them. Elaine, hi.
Hello.
Hello, I'm from ITV Meridian. Now, I understand you applied for funding through the People's Project for your wonderful charity. Well, I'm here today to tell you our viewers have voted. You are one of our winners. And I have a cheque for £70,000. I think we can see how everyone feels, but tell me, how are you feeling?
Shocked and really, really excited because we can do so much with this. We're
already running activities, and we can just do so many more for young carers in the area.
Honestly, I'm slightly overwhelmed. It is the most amazing news. So it means that we're going to get to do so many more Making Memories days with these guys, get everybody out having some fun, taking a break from their caring role. It's incredible. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. No, thank you. Now, everybody here, you are all pretty amazing. Does anyone want to tell me what sort of things you've been up to today? Yeah, what have you done today?
We've been swimming, but with the kayak, and we've been doing games with the kayak.
Well, I think you are all amazing, and I think we just need one more huge cheer, don't we? £70,000, guys. Congratulations to all of our winners and our runners-up too, who will each receive cheques for £10,000. It's money that can do so much for these important and inspiring community projects.
Just brilliant. They are fun to do. Those reveals, though, do you feel a little bit of pressure doing those?
Yeah, you do, because you have to make it a surprise and you're not sure how they're going to react, and then you've got to get them all assembled, so they're not quite sure what they're doing there. But it's just so lovely to be able to kind of go out and give the good news.
Yeah, what's weird, though, is that they want it to be a surprise, so they give you the biggest cheque they can find, which makes it really difficult to hide when you're trying to sneak up on people, but really good.
I noticed how Pip was doing that. But, you know, so many great causes. Young carers, which you know that I'm very passionate about. Southampton City Farm, especially because of the City of Culture bid that didn't go to plan. So really great to see them getting some National Lottery funding. And then, of course, Veterans in Action. And your Billy was, I wasn't sure whether he was excited at the beginning.
I liked it because the veterans won, because they're not naturally given to asking for help. So the fact that they were given some help, I think, was really important.
And they're heroes, and they deserve it.
Superb.
Brilliant.
Really
Congratulations to you all.
Right, let's get a check, talking of checks, on the weather forecast with the details for us this evening. Here's Shireen Jordan.
Feels like home, whatever the weather. Valent Boilers and Heat Pumps sponsors ITV Meridian Weather.
A very good evening to you. It's been another day full of glorious sunshine to mark the start of meteorological summer. This was the scene earlier in Gosport, a lot of blue sky. Thank you so much for sending that picture in. For the remainder of this week, we will hold on to a lot of sunshine as well. Some cloud bubbling up from time to time. It will still be dry and also feeling warm in the sunshine with those light winds. We've got high pressure sat to the northwest of Scotland, and that's what's been keeping our weather fine, dry and settled. A little bit fresher conditions along southern coastal stretches. For us here this evening, clear and dry conditions, and then cloud will sink south and westwards in the overnight period. Light winds coming from an east to northeasterly direction, and under that blanket of cloud, the temperature falling away to 9 or 10 degrees Celsius. So quite a mild start to Friday morning, but also a cloudy one too. That cloud should burn back by lunchtime, and we should be left with plenty of lengthy spells of sunshine tomorrow. A lot of blue sky. Light winds coming from an east to northeasterly direction, a little bit fresher along southern coastal stretches. But in the best of the sunshine tomorrow, we're looking at a maximum temperature of 21 degrees Celsius, and that is a little bit above average for this time of year. Here are your times of high water for Ventnor: 10:27 in the morning, and again tomorrow night at 10:46. Let's take a look then at that all-important outlook for the rest of this week. A lot of gold medallions in the outlook once again, so remaining warm with light winds. And we're looking at temperatures by day staying with us in the low 20s. And at the moment, high pressure looks like it's going to remain in charge into the new working week.
Valent sponsors ITV Meridian Weather.
Hello, summer. Piri sponsors ITV Pollen Count.
And if you're suffering with hay fever, grass pollen is the main cause at the moment. Levels over the next 3 days and into the weekend remain high. So do take care if you are heading out and about.
Forecast. Thinking about cheques, what's the biggest cheque you've ever held?
Held?
Apart from 70,000 that we had to hand over.
That
Your
is
personal.
Really?
Come on.
It's not that big. Let me tell you that.
Thank you for watching. Bye-bye for now.
Bye-bye. It's a really small cheque.